Chapter 6. M. Gascard Pantoufle. It was a noisy, bumpy, uncomfortable sort of night. From inside his envelope, Winston heard the revving of the truck engine swap to the chug of a boat, then the huffing of a train. His belly was too jiggly with anticipation to really have a snooze, so he made himself as comfortable as possible and did some big thinking about his very curious mystery. The lovely sound of the lullaby was so clear to him now, but he still couldn't decipher the words well enough to know what language they actually were. And then there was the smell, delicious and exotic, yet homely at the same time. He squeezed his eyes shut for the 500th time to try to see the face of the creature singing to him. It was still impossibly foggy in his memories, but he had a very strong feeling that the mystery creature was a mouse. Who are they? Wondered Winston. Each time he thought of the song or the smell or even the hazy figure, his chest ached with yearning. How could he have forgotten something so important? As dawn came, he found himself thinking about Oliver. He'll be waking up soon, he said to himself, and he imagined his best friend reading the note he'd left. Winston hoped Oliver wouldn't be too sad. With any luck, they'd be back together very soon indeed, tucked up and sharing a cookie. Winston took another deep breath and concentrated on being brave. Eventually, the train stopped and the mail sack in which Winston was hiding was on the move again. The envelope was sorted amongst the chatter of French voices. Eduardo would love this, Winston thought. And then he was in the postman's bag, being swung through the streets of Paris on the delivery round. Winston peeked through the holes in the envelope at the morning revealing itself around him. The air was sharp with frost, and from every corner the most wonderful smells wafted about, reminding Winston that he'd missed both his second dinner last night and his breakfast this morning. There was the buttery, flaky smell of croissant, the crunchy smell of baguettes, and the squidgy whiff of cheeses. Rich, belly-hugging smells of onion and garlic mingled with hot, toasty chestnuts, and Winston's little nose could hardly keep up with it all. None of the scents matched the one from his memories, but he enjoyed them immensely nevertheless. Paris was as ready for Christmas as home had been. Lights twinkled and people were wrapped up against the cold wind that blew across the river. Their arms were piled high with parcels and heaped with mistletoe to hang above their front doors. Could whoever it was Winston was looking for really be somewhere amongst this glorious bustle? As the postman's bag emptied around him, Winston couldn't help but wonder what might lie ahead. What sort of cat would Prue's cousin Gaspard be? Prue could be very firm at times, but underneath it all, she was as soft as snow white fur. But other cats weren't like that. Other cats had poking claws. Was Gaspard the sort of cat who would pat Winston around between his feline paws and if he was a ping-pong ball? That was a worrying thought indeed. Presently, Winston's envelope was picked up and he began to feel a bit wobbly with anticipation. He felt himself being slipped through a letterbox and landing with a bump on the floor. He heard paws approaching and loud sniffing. Then the envelope was ripped open. Winston gulped as a large paw reached in, and before he could scarper, he was pulled out by his tail. He squeezed his eyes shut and prepared himself to be prodded with the claw. But nothing happened. Winston peeked through his eyelashes and found not the wide open mouth of a hungry cat as he'd expected, but the smiling face of a small lilac-coloured poodle. A small lilac-coloured poodle who smelled very strongly of floral perfume. Are you Gaspard? Winston whispered. Prue's cousin? Oui, Gaspard nodded. He pulled himself up to his full height, which wasn't very high at all, and puffed out his fluffy chest. Well, I am Prue's second cousin, twice removed, but who? He stopped to sniff Winston again in a friendly manner. Who are you? Winston explained to Gaspard why and how he'd travelled to Paris. Then he said, Prue thought you might be able to help me, in a small voice. Winston thought Gaspard might laugh at him. Coming all this way to find someone he didn't even know did seem like a bonkers idea after all. But instead of laughing, Gaspard gasped and wagged his tail so hard and fast he almost lifted off the ground. "A quest!" he cried. "An adventure! Oh, how I have longed for an adventure!" He giddily gabbled on. "Every week my people take me to the hair salon, to the fur dome, and get my claws painted. They make me wear my special coat and shoes there and back so I don't get grubby, and all the other dogs in the street laugh at me. But now, excitement and escapades, baddies and bandits, daring deeds and danger." He stopped, panting with glee. "So, tell me, Betty Winston, what is our plan? I'm at your service." He saluted with a paw. Winston rubbed his nose thoughtfully. "Well," he said, thinking that his task didn't really fit with his new friend's idea of an adventure, "all I need to do is to have a look around a bakery." Prue said that there was one downstairs, and the mysterious mouse I'm looking for might be there. Far from being disappointed, Gaspard squeaked with excitement. There was indeed a bakery under Gaspard's apartment. It was where his owners bought him his breakfast croissants every morning. Just then, Winston heard voices. Gaspard's humans were collecting the rest of the post. Gaspard quickly helped Winston into his velvet bed and hid him behind one of the silk cushions. "It will be my pleasure to assist you," whispered the poodle, "but we shall have to begin our epic venture tonight under the cover of darkness."